13 Air India crashes, 1,200 deaths. The one deadly mistake found in every tragedy. The Air India plane crash that took place on June 12, 2025, in the skies over Ahmedabad has once again thrown the aviation safety protocols into serious question. Air India Flight AI-171, a Boeing 787 Dreamliner headed for London, crashed into a densely populated residential area just minutes after takeoff, killing 241 people on board and 38 on the ground. Only one passenger survived. The sheer scale of the devastation has reignited public outrage and raised old, haunting questions. Was it a sudden technical failure or human error, or is there a deeper, systemic rot in the aviation safety net? While the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau AAIB is yet to release its final report, preliminary signals hint at a technical fault. Experts from the US and UK have joined the investigation, with the recovered black box offering critical data. But this tragedy is not an isolated incident. Rather, it joins a grim chronicle of deadly air crashes over the past 5 decades, each one a brutal reminder that the skies have not always been safe. Here is a look back at some of the darkest air disasters involving Air India and its subsidiaries, each peeling back the layers of misjudgment, mechanical failure, and institutional apathy. Flight AI-171 had barely lifted off before it plunged into a crowded neighborhood. The crash not only incinerated all but one passenger but also claimed dozens of lives on the ground. Investigations are ongoing, but early signs point to possible technical malfunction. An Air India Express flight IX-1344 from Dubai skidded off a tabletop runway during heavy rains. The aircraft broke into 4 pieces. Investigators later confirmed the pilot attempted landing multiple times despite poor visibility. The third attempt ended in catastrophe. An flight IX-812 from Dubai failed to stop on Mangalore's precarious tabletop runway. Investigators revealed the captain ignored repeated warnings from the co-pilot to abort the landing. Fatigue and misjudgment were central to the disaster. An Alliance Air Flight 7412 stalled midair during landing and crashed into a residential colony. The pilot had taken an incorrect approach. Investigators blamed poor training and the dangerous proximity of dense population zones near the airport. An Indian Airlines Flight 491 hit a truck that was inexplicably on the runway during takeoff. The fatal lapse in ground traffic management shocked aviation regulators. This incident spotlighted the chaos that can exist beyond the cockpit. An Indian Airlines Flight 257 crashed into a hill as it prepared to land. The pilot had miscalculated altitude and poor visibility. A tragic case of overconfidence and flawed judgment. An Flight 605, an Airbus A320, hit the ground short of the runway while approaching HAL Airport. The cause was alleged unfamiliarity with the cockpit layout of the newly inducted Airbus, leading to a botched landing. An Indian Airlines Flight 113 collided with trees during its final approach in low visibility. Pilot miscalculation, along with failure of the air traffic control to provide accurate weather updates, sealed the fate of almost everyone on board. An Flight 403 crashed while landing during a monsoon deluge at Sehar Airport. Pilots struggled with visibility, and the aircraft veered off the runway. An Flight 855, a Boeing 747, nosedived into the sea shortly after takeoff. Investigators said the captain was misled by faulty instruments and became spatially disoriented. It remains one of the worst aviation disasters in history. An Indian Airlines Flight 171 was engulfed in flames shortly after takeoff. The fire started due to a malfunction in the fuel system and rapidly spread, leaving no survivors. An Flight 440 crashed into electrical wires near Palam Airport. Pilots made a risky approach during a thunderstorm and visibility was near zero. Another case of poor weather judgment and lack of updated landing protocols. An Indian Airlines Avro HS748 failed to navigate through dense fog and crashed into the mountains of Meghalaya. Navigational missteps in treacherous weather proved fatal. Swipe left for next video. From cockpit miscalculations to poorly managed runways and inadequate infrastructure, the thread running through all these tragedies is disturbingly consistent. Each plane crash has brought with it a fresh wave of grief, investigations, and promises of reform, yet fundamental flaws persist. What makes the June 2025 Ahmedabad plane crash particularly painful is not just the scale of loss, but the déjà vu of it all. Latest blogs.